There's a moment your ex never tells you about. It's not a dramatic, movie-like scene. It's quiet, private, and completely catches them off guard. It's the moment when your name, your face, or the memory of your laugh suddenly hits their mind with a force they weren't prepared for. They could be driving down a familiar road, listening to a song they haven't heard in months. Or maybe they're just mindlessly scrolling through their phone late at night, trying to distract themselves from the silence of their empty apartment. It even happens when they're surrounded by people, in the middle of a laugh, pretending they're perfectly fine and have completely moved on. In that split second, the carefully constructed walls they built come crashing down. The feeling isn't gentle nostalgia, it's a sharp, undeniable pang of absence. And that moment is the beginning of everything. Because missing someone doesn't start the day they leave, it starts in the quiet moments after the noise of the breakup has faded. When the reality of your absence truly settles in, missing someone starts the day they realize they can't go back to how things were. Subscribe to Breakup Psychologist for daily clarity, and let's talk about what really happens inside your ex's heart when they finally start missing you. When a breakup happens, it feels like one person walks away and the other one carries the pain. But that's never the full story. Your silence, your absence, your sudden disappearance from their daily habits, it creates an echo. At first, they don't feel it. They're distracted. Friends, screens, routine, false confidence. People imagine it looks like freedom. But emotionally, it's denial. It's noise trying to cover a wound they don't want to touch yet. But silence has a strange power. It doesn't hit instantly, it builds pressure slowly, and then all at once. It always begins with something small. A song, a cafe, a street, a joke you once made, a movie you watched together. A moment so ordinary you would never guess it held any meaning. But suddenly it appears in their mind like a lightning flash. And with it comes a question. Why did that remind me of them? They shake it off. They distract themselves. They scroll, they talk to someone else, they push the thought down. But memory is stubborn, and it returns stronger. Here's a truth most people don't admit. Your ex tries to replace the emotional space you once filled. Maybe with work. Maybe with friends. Maybe with someone new. Maybe with forced excitement. But all of this is temporary. Because healing does not come from distraction, it comes from truth. And when the distraction fades, they're left alone with themselves and with the reality that you were more meaningful than they allowed themselves to admit. This is when missing you becomes heavier. People don't miss you when you chase, they miss you when you stop. No contact isn't magic. It's clarity. Not for you, but for them. When you don't message, don't beg, don't force a conversation, something inside them starts to fracture. Did I matter? Why aren't they trying? Did they replace me? Was I the problem? Your silence becomes strength, and strength is attractive in ways words cannot explain. Your ex begins to remember the version of you that supported them, understood them, listened to them, loved them. But now, they see a version of you who doesn't need them anymore. That shift hits harder than heartbreak itself. After weeks or even months of forced smiles and calculated distractions, there is always a moment when their carefully constructed defenses finally break. The wall they built to convince themselves and the world that they were better off without you begins to crumble under its own weight. It often happens late at night, when the city is quiet and the usual noise that drowns out their thoughts has faded to a whisper. Or it might be triggered when they see someone else happy, a couple laughing in a cafe, a moment of genuine connection that serves as a stark, painful reminder of what they lost. Or perhaps it's when life isn't going the way they expected, when the freedom they thought they wanted feels more like profound emptiness. Suddenly, a memory, a scent, a song hits them without warning, and your name becomes a physical weight on their chest, an ache that steals their breath. This is the crash. It's the moment they finally stop pretending and are forced to confront the unfiltered, undeniable truth of your absence. Then comes the quiet, undeniable turning point. It's the moment they finally admit to themselves what their pride and ego spent weeks, maybe even months, trying to deny. A wave of clarity washes over them, and the internal monologue they fought so hard to suppress finally breaks through. They mattered more than I ever realized. I genuinely thought I could just move on, that it would be easy. But I can't. The silence is deafening. This realization triggers a compulsive need to reconnect with the past. They start rereading old texts, searching for clues, for warmth, for a time when things were different. They're checking old photos, getting lost in the memories you built together. This quickly escalates to stalking your social media, a desperate attempt to see how you're doing without them. They might even be watching your stories from hidden or newly created accounts, afraid of being seen, yet unable to look away. Trying to see if you're still the same, or if you finally let go of them. Here's the twist. People don't miss the relationship first. They miss the version of you that made them feel seen. And the moment they sense you're getting better, in the gym, in your mind, in your silence, something inside them panics. What if they never forgive me? What if someone else sees their worth? What if I'm the one who messed up? What if it's too late? Missing you turns into fear. Fear turns into regret. Regret turns into confusion. And confusion, that's when they come back. The real missing begins when they understand this simple truth. You weren't just a person in their life. You were a presence, a comfort, a rhythm, a feeling. And feelings don't disappear. They return when people least expect them. They miss the way you made them feel, understood the comfort of your voice. Your patience when they were struggling, the memories. They pushed away the version of themselves they only felt around you. Missing you isn't sudden. It's layered. It's slow. It's heavy. It's human. When your ex starts missing you, they won't admit it. They won't message you at first. They won't confess their feelings. They won't show their regret openly. But you'll see it in their silence, in their actions, in their hesitation, in their sudden curiosity about your life. They don't miss the old you. They miss the version of you that no longer exists. And that realization is the beginning of your power.